If you're wanting to move to Phoenix tomorrow and you had to choose one area to buy a home, where would you go? Most people immediately start looking at places like Scottsdale and Chandler and Gilbert. But what if I told you some of the biggest opportunities in the entire Phoenix metro area is actually happening in the West Valley? Today we're talking about communities that keep showing up on buyers' short lists, like Buckeye and Verrado, Peoria, Glendale, Surprise. Each offers something completely different. Some offer future growth, others offer more lifestyle, and others may be a perfect balance between location and value. So if you're planning to move to Arizona in 2026, stick around because one of these communities might be exactly what you're looking for. One of the questions that I get almost every day is, where should I move in the West Valley? And honestly, there's no one size fits all answer. The right city for a retired couple is often different from the right city for the right city for a growing family. The right neighborhood for a remote worker might not make sense for someone commuting across town every day. That's why I always tell clients to focus on the lifestyle first and the house second. Because you can change paint colors and you can remodel a kitchen and you can update flooring, but you can't pick that house up and move it somewhere else to a different location. Today, let's break down some of the most talked about areas in the West Valley and one why each one, excuse me, and why each one continues attracting buyers from all over the country. Let's start with Buckeye. If you've been researching Phoenix real estate for any length of time, you've probably heard people talking about Buckeye. And there's a reason for that. Buckeye continues to be one of the fastest growing cities in Arizona. Drive through the city today and you'll see new neighborhoods, new schools, new retail developments, and new infrastructure projects taking shape. What's attracting so many buyers is the combination of growth and opportunity. Many buyers can still find newer homes and larger lots compared to other parts of the valley. And for people relocating from higher cost states, the value proposition can be very appealing. But here's something I always tell clients. When you buy in Buckeye, you're not just buying what exists today, you're also buying where the city is heading. Every year, more businesses arrive, more shopping options open up, more services become available. And that's one of the reasons why many buyers are willing to look further west than they had originally planned. They see the long-term vision. The Buckeye isn't perfect for everyone. If your daily commute takes you to the East Valley, you want to evaluate the drive times carefully. But for buyers focused on growth and newer housing and future development, Buckeye remains one of the most interesting areas in the market today. Now, let's move on to Verrado. I love Verrado. Verrado is honestly, it deserves a category all by itself because it's more than just a neighborhood, it's a lifestyle community. The first thing that people notice when they visit Verrado is that it feels different. The tree lined streets, the front porches, the parks, the walking trails, the community gathering spaces. Everything was intentionally designed to create a neighborhood feel that's becoming harder to find in modern developments. I had buyers who were considering multiple cities across the valley. After after spending an afternoon in Verrado, they completely changed their plans. Why? Because they could picture themselves living there. They could see themselves walking to a coffee shop and meeting neighbors and attending community events, even taking evening walks through the neighborhood. For many buyers, that lifestyle component is worth paying attention to. And then you add the mountain views and the golf courses and the hiking opportunities, the community events throughout the year, and suddenly you're evaluating more than just square footage. You're evaluating the quality of life. And that's why Verrado continues to be one of the most requested communities among relocation buyers looking in the West Valley. Now let's talk about Peoria. If Buckeye represents growth and Verrado represents lifestyle, I would say Peoria may offer one of the strongest combinations of location and value. One reason that buyers love Peoria is the accessibility. You're closer to many of the amenities and entertainment options and shopping centers and employment corridors that people use every day. and that convenience matters, especially if you're someone who wants to minimize commute times and maximize access to things that you enjoy. Peoria offers tremendous variety. You can find established neighborhoods, you can find newer communities, you can find golf course homes and luxury properties. You can find homes that fit a variety of budgets and lifestyles. Another advantage is that Peoria gives buyers options depending on what they're looking for. Some areas are very established and mature, and then others continue to see newer development and investment. That flexibility allows buyers to find a neighborhood that fits their specific goals rather than forcing them into a one-size-fits-all situation. Now, for many families relocating to Arizona, that balance between convenience, amenities, and housing options makes Peoria an extremely attractive choice. So if you're trying to decide between what city you should live in, the answer really comes down to what matters most to you. Do you want future growth? Do you want a lifestyle-focused master planned community? Or do you want location that balances convenience and value? The good news is there's no wrong answer. The key is finding the community that matches the way you actually want to live. Now, when we look at surprise attracts a lot of retirees and families and buyers wanting a quieter suburban feel, and many buyers appreciate the community atmosphere there. And then you have Glendale. Glendale is interesting because there are still affordability opportunities in certain areas, especially buyers wanting more central access while staying budget conscious. And then you've got Litchfield Park. The Litchfield Park has a completely different feel. More more mature landscaping, more established atmosphere, a unique character compared to some of the other newer expansion areas, and a lot of buyers really connect with that. Now, what would I avoid? Personally, I'd avoid making emotional decisions based purely on hype. I'd focus on commute realities and budget comfort and long-term goals, lifestyle fit, and overall value, because buying smart matters more than buying flashy. For military families buying especially, I'd focus heavily on commute and monthly affordability and resale potential and community fit because flexibility matters. The West Valley is no longer a backup plan. For many buyers, it's becoming the main destination. And if you want help figuring out which areas fit your goals best, DM me, West Valley, and I'll send you my relocation guide, neighborhood recommendations, affordability breakdowns, and areas I personally recommend based on your situation. Chandelin, your neighborhood realtor. Talk to you later.